Dala, 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 dala. Welcome back to this series on how to deal with nightmares. Today, in the last installment, we are going to talk about the things you can do to overcome your nightmares. Some of the things have been mentioned in some of the previous episodes, and here we are going to recapitulate all of them so you can find them in one place. And I will also add on to what has already been said. So, there is two types of things you can do. There are things you can do within the dream in order for you to overcome the nightmare, and there are things you can do while being awake outside of the dream. We'll start with the first category of things. The things you can do within the dream are number one, being or improving your ability to recognize when you are dreaming. So, this is important because it will help you know that you are dreaming before, at the beginning of the nightmare, before it gets too frightening. And if you recognize that you're dreaming, you also recognize something else, that in the dream realm, you have many abilities that you can improve, abilities that you can magnify, and you are more prompt to use abilities if you're aware that you're dreaming. There is another video that I've done in the dream series in terms of improving your ability to remember your dreams, improving your ability to be more efficient in dreams. I'll try to link it somewhere or put it in the description box so you can check that out. So, it is very important for you to be able to recognize when you dream, because this is where you will be able to start with everything else that can be done within the dream. And if you have enough time in the beginning of the nightmare, especially if you recognize if this is a recurring nightmare and you can recognize how it starts, then it will all the better for you in terms of being able to be prepared and better dealing with the dream. The second thing is that it's very important that you are able to calm yourself down on your own within the dream. So, if you already know this is a nightmare, especially for recurring nightmare, you are going to see things that are familiar and things that could trigger you, that could push you to be scared even before something scary happened, simply because you know how the nightmare unfolds, or you recognize a frightening character or being. So the importance here is not so much to try to fight the fear, but to calm yourself down enough that you go back to rule number one in saying that you recognize that this is a dream. And because you recognize that this is a dream, you also recognize all of the abilities that you have and all the tools that are at your disposition and all you can do that are basically limitless. So, whatever methods you want to use that enables you to calm yourself down, to concentrate and focus on what you want to accomplish in this particular dream, meaning overcoming this nightmare, either by being calm so that you can actually go towards the end of the dream, because sometimes the dream is so frightening that you wake up before the message is fully being given to you. Because it's so scary, you rather wake up than go through it. By being able to calm yourself down and use your abilities, you'll be able to work yourself up towards the all the way to the end of the dream. Number three, it is to actually work on improving your abilities within the dream. So this is something you will do in any given dream, not nightmares, because you want to improve the abilities that you have in the dream. So I've spoken before about the ability to recognize that you're dreaming, your ability to be aware that in the dream you have some abilities. And now that you are aware of that, working on those abilities in terms of improving them, maybe in terms of calling on to tools, of thinking of tools that appear before you, that appear in your hands, your ability to fly, your ability to jump really high, your ability to throw a ball of fire, or whatever elements that are around. But working on a regular dream or a training dream that you will compose yourself. So before you go to sleep, you yourself think of a safe place to go. And once you are at that place, once you fall asleep, you start basically training the same way you will do in life, in basic training, except that it's working on your abilities. So as you'll see, sometimes you'll be able to start up slowly by jumping to a certain height. Then you're going to be able to see that you can jump all the way to the moon, or jump to a different country. And as you improve in all of these different abilities, the important thing here is that as you train, you'll gain more confidence, more self confidence in terms of what you can do when you face something negative in a dream. You'll have the confidence that whatever tools, whatever abilities you have can help you overcome that dream. So, of course, now that you improve on your abilities within the dream, whether it is hiding, whether it is disappearing, reappearing, whatever weapon you are working on or developing to help you within the dream, once you have, a good grasp of that, you can test this ability by going to the nightmare, or you can test this ability during a nightmare. So in order to do that, you will do the same thing. So at the beginning of the dream, you may be preparing yourself, you may be just preparing yourself in terms of your mental abilities, instead of focusing and being able to magnify your energy and being able to use the same tool that you've been practicing within the dream, either just to push something away from you so that thing cannot touch you, or in terms of just having your protective shield on so that whatever's going on around you is less likely to affect you or touch you, or disturb you, basically, so that you can get through the end of the dream and get the full message. So once you train in a regular dream, you use this ability in your nightmares. So those are the five things I'll leave you with in order to work on within the dream world. Now there are things that you can do outside of the dream world in the awakened state, to help you. So the first one we've already mentioned is very important, that you purify yourself very frequently, especially if your nightmares are frequent, if they are on a daily basis, on or 2 or 3 times a week. You should be cleansing yourself. If your nightmares are on a daily basis, you should be cleansing yourself, purifying yourself every single day. If it's less frequent, you can do it once a week. It all depends on the frequency of the dream, of on the frequency. It all depends on the frequency of the nightmare. But the more frequent the nightmare is, the more important and the more frequent and the more important it will be for you to purify and cleanse yourself. We talked about you can use a salt bath is the most basic tool you can use to purify yourself. So you can do a soul bath first, one bath to basically get rid of negative energy, and another bath to energize yourself. So to recuperate energy and to cleanse yourself, basically. In the soul bath, you can use herbs and plants that have properties for protection, properties for cleansing. So just do a little bit of research on the type of herbs that are available to you in your area, and see which one you can use for each of those baths, the cleansing, purifying bath, and the energizing bath. And of course, you can find a bunch of information online for both of those. The second thing that you can do is also to purify and cleanse your home, especially the bedroom that you're sleeping in, because if the energy is coming through your bedroom, it's very important that you cleanse it and purify it and protect it. And also even seal it if you can with a protection seal. Cleansing your home, cleaning also if you have if you're in an apartment, it could be also that you cleansing your front door, that you even put a little bit of salt, just a little bit of salt with your intention in your front door and the hallway, the common hallway, or in the elevator if there's an elevator leading to your floor. You can also do it at the entrance of the building and around the building. If you cleanse outside of your home or of your building, just be mindful every time there is a torrential rain, when there's rain, to go and do it again. And for the protection of the home of the building, it may be more efficient to use protective method, methods that are longer lasting. Because as we know, salt will dissolve, salt may be taken away by the rain. There's many ways that salt can be taken. So if you have a rug, put it under the rug in front of the on the welcome mat, for example, or mix it with some soil during the entrance, or under a statue, or under within a pot by the door. I mean, try to be as creative as you can to make sure that your protection, whether it is through a spell or through herbs and other things, are longer lasting or lasting as long as possible. You can also use red soil and red brick. So I think I've done already a video on red brick and red soil that you can go for and listen for inspiration. But any red soil will do, because the most important thing is your intention, and you will use a red soil, the same way you use salt. Then you can, to add on to that, you can also use crystals and protecting herbs when you go to sleep, as well as water. So do not use all of these methods at the same time. Try, when you're implementing something, to see if it's work to protect you. Just add one thing at a time, so that you are able to see if it's working or not. If you're trying a bunch of things at the same time and something goes wrong, or is not strong enough, you won't be able to know if there's a problem with one of those things, because not all of the protection spells or rituals or objects that you use can have the same effect. So it's very important that you use them one at a time. So start with the baseline of salt. Basically, with salt, salt could be used as a foundation. And as I stated in another episode, sometimes salt is enough to solve the problem. So you don't need to go any further. Do not try to pack up all of the protection avenues or tools at the same time if you don't need them. It's very important for you to go gradually. Only use what you need. And the way you'll know is that if you start with the basic one with using salt and it works, you don't have any more nightmares, or the night you're able to overcome the nightmare after that, then you don't need to go any further. Now, if it doesn't work, or the nightmare gets even more frightening, or there's other issues, then you can add on another method to it. You can combine methods, and you're doing it one at a time, so you can see if there is something. If the herbal composition that you made yourself is not as strong, then you can tweak it before you move on to another method or adding on another method. If you buy the herbal composition or your protective tools from other people, you can also see if this tool is helpful or if this tool is making things worse. So this is why you're taking one step at a time. Now, the crystals and the protecting herbs, you can use them basically either leaving them by your bed, because usually if you have a bedside table, that means the crystal will be at the height of your head as you sleep, so closer to your mind, and close enough to be within your aura, depending on how wide your aura is. If your aura is diminished, normally your aura is supposed to be, your aura can grow as based on the amount of energy that you emit around you, that you emit from within towards the world. So if you've been depleted, your energy, you won't be emitting that much energy. So that means instead of putting the crystal on the bedside table, maybe the crystal will need to be under your pillow or even within yourself. So you can put it in your bra, you can put it in your pocket, so that it's as closest to you as possible. And then for the protective herbs, same thing. You can put it on your bedside table or you can put it under your pillow. And you can also see and test the difference. If it's further away from you, does it work better? Because it's not because you're packing all of that on yourself that it's going to necessarily work better. Sometimes putting it in a corner of the room where things are happening as you assess if there's an issue within your room, putting the protective herbs or the crystal at that place in the room may be sufficient. So you don't need to have the crystal right next to you. And also remember, selecting the crystal for their purposes. And also remember that the crystal is an ally. is not your servant. So your crystals is there to help you, not for you to be, belittling it. You're not, forcing yourself into it. You're asking this being for assistance, basically. So however if you do the tools yourselves, like choosing the crystal or preparing the crystals or the herbs, and you probably should be aware of this if you're already doing that on your own, that you have to do it with much respect and in collaboration with these partners that you are calling upon to help you, to help and assist you. um, Lastly, I'll also say, okay, there's two more things. One of the other thing is that if your nightmares are caused by rituals that you done improperly, so you conducted a ritual in your home or in your bedroom, and you didn't seal the ritual properly, you didn't cleanse the space either before or after doing your ritual, and this is what causing this negative energy seeping through, or whatever's calling the nightmare from what you assessed in the past. So the obvious thing is to stop doing those rituals and to stop doing workings in your bedroom. I think in my altar videos, I've had already underlined this point about it's important for you to have a dedicated space. If you are somebody who wants to become a practitioner or who is working and wants to practice all those different things, it's better for you to do it, to not do it in the space where you sleep, to do it somewhere else. um, Traditionally, you will do that outside, because so that the energy is not stuck within a space that's very intimate to you. Because if you're doing workings and then this is where your body lays inert while you sleep and while you're traveling and you're doing things, that means whatever you're doing with these workings, whatever entity you're coming in or whatever you're doing, even the energy that you're calling upon and that you're using could have an impact on your body, could have an impact on you. So that's why it's very important to distinguish the space where you do your energy and practice work and the space where you sleep. And I'm specifically talking about rituals or workings. So if you're praying, you can pray in your bedroom. It's actually a good thing because you're good. You're setting up, you're building up good intentions, and you're building up good vibes that are going to be accumulating in that space. So whatever space you dedicate to pray, especially if you're still living at home with your parents or you have roommates and stuff like that, um, praying in your room, and here by praying, I do mean speaking with the divine, speaking with your ancestors. I am not talking about the Christian way of praying, reciting over and over the same prayers and stuff. I'm really talking about you having a conversation with the divine. So it goes for prayer and meditation. So communicating with the divine is, or the ancestor, is an exchange. You speak, but you also need to listen for the answer. So meditation helps you listen to the answer. Dream world, or going to the dream world, also helps you listen to the answers. So if you do that in the same room or in the same space, even at the same time, you will be able to build, accumulate energy at a certain spot in a certain room, which can be used afterwards for protection and other things. The last point for you, if you're working on your own and you're trying to fix things or address things on your own and it doesn't work, please consult with somebody who does know what they're doing. Consult with somebody else. Seek assistance, so that you do not let that linger. As I've mentioned, nightmares occur for a reason, and it's important to address them. It's important to see them through. There's just like you will do for any other dream. So I hope this series has been useful. I think that it's not necessarily a pleasant topic to talk about, but I think the timing was promptly done, and I hope some of the things that were provided here will be useful to you. Of course, if you have any questions, leave them below, and I'll see you in the next video.